Hello and welcome back to War Sales, and well, I actually decided that I'd move back to our town here just purely because I wanted to try and improve its management a little bit, because it did come under siege a little bit of time ago, and I thought to myself, okay, I should probably go back there and see what's happening. This is not the same siege, by the way, so yeah, there's been a handful of things that have happened over the time in between the last episode and this one. Most notably, the Batanians have decided to make peace with us. Funnily enough, Mr. Iltas, the swordsman, he has actually been doing an extremely good job. He has been leading an army, as you can see right there. He's leading an army of a sizable number, not too bad. And he has been defending himself against the Batanians. They actually attempted to take Rovolt itself, which obviously is a Vlandian town. Now, unfortunately for them, there is a significant garrison there, so they didn't really accomplish much. They did have 1,200 troops in the garrison, well, shall we say, in the army, to fight against the garrison. The garrison had 700 or something like that, so they weren't really able to do much. Now, Iltas, he decided to attack those guys, or at the very least, he decided to show up and kind of just, you know, be a presence in that area, and then they decided to stop the siege. So I guess we can just kind of thank him for that. And then they decided to try and take Ormondfard Castle. Now, thankfully, Iltas was able to take that back. So, in other words, this guy is doing every single thing that we can ever want him to do. Now, the Batanians have indeed made peace with us now, so we don't really have to worry about that any further, at least for a little bit. And we are paying them 1,200 gold every single day, which obviously I'm not particularly, not a super big fan of that. Anyway, we do have 4 catapults up and running right here against 1,000 Sturgians. This is going to be a little bit problematic, I think, maybe. I'm not too sure. I do have very low-level troops in my army at the moment because I was literally just trying to recruit as many people as I could get my hands on. Loads of scions, loads of Nord younglings, and of course they're leveling up in due time as well. So we have a lot of tier 2s, a lot of tier 3s, stuff like that. Not really very strong at this point, and I'm a little bit worried as a result of that. And you can see here we actually have a fire catapult. That's really interesting, actually, because I did not build one. I don't actually have access to fire catapults, which is really quite strange. So I'm not sure why we even have one, to be honest, but there you go. All right. We're going to have to see what we can do here. I forgot to actually re-equip my... re-equip my thrown weapons for this, because I would have liked to have, well, clearly leveled them up. You know, I have been attempting to get to as much control skill as possible, but yes, I consistently forget to re-equip them, so it's not really a case of me not wanting to or anything like that. It's just literally me just forgetting. So what we'll do is, if we do get into some additional battles, and most notably we should probably get onto some... well, get into some battles that are actually going to help us increase our thrown weapon skill. Oh, so much damage from Mr. Thalric there. He did so much damage with the wonderful catapult damage right there. Very, very cool. And funnily enough, yeah, we have a bit of an issue here. Boom. We're leveling our throwing skill this way. Yes. Let us level up throwing skill this way by carrying these fire pots. And let's go over to... ooh, this could be juicy. Oh no! Are you serious? You shot me and now I dropped my pot. You absolute idiot. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, they kind of put paid to my strategy there. My strategy of taking this big explosion and being like, yes, I will explode all over your faces. Indeed. That is what we will do. So we're actually having a pretty easy time here. Unfortunately, we don't have too many allies here to fight off the enemies. So we are just going to have to do this rather weirdly. I'm not sure whether I really want to... do I want to get people up here? I don't know. Generally, I'm not a big fan of getting people up here. You know what? Let's do it. Why not? Let's move my forces up here, see what we can do with them. I don't really like moving them like this because it's... drawing them away from other places in the siege, and I personally prefer to have them in the places that they're needed most. But I don't know, it depends. Maybe this is where they're needed most, you know what I mean? Maybe this is indeed their purpose. Maybe we are supposed to have them here. Maybe that's the way to go. But yeah, I mean, obviously you can see here we are absolutely slaughtering huge amounts of enemies right now, and indeed we're just going to be getting even more. We're going to be getting even more kills because the Sturgians actually have a significant amount of people that like running around without too many shields. And that does make a big difference, because obviously, as you can see right here, I'm literally just slaying them as soon as they appear. And, well, there's not much for them to really do about that. I mean, even the vassals are literally dying. It's very, very conducive to any kind of slaughtering that you'd want to do. Any of these guys coming up here and just basically running in, immediately getting killed. And, indeed, that's what's happening. Look at this. We can literally even destroy their shields even before they get up here. It's crazy. Look at this. Massive damage. Massive damage. We can also be a little bit careful here as well. Don't really want to get shot by massive amounts of thrown weapons. There are a huge amount of them down below, so we do need to be a bit careful of that. Don't really want to take a javelin shot to the face. As I said in the previous episode, in fact, Sturgians do like to use their wonderful, wonderful javelins. That does make a big difference, and they are quite proficient at that. Whoa, yeah, we're getting some pretty big damage from this, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be okay. We might be fine. I mean, for me personally, I think this is basically a done deal. I really don't think they have any opportunity. Yep, as you can see, they're done. They are running immediately. Look at how incredibly easy that was. That was extremely easy, just purely because we were able to destroy their siege engines. And, well, that's it. There you go. Game over for them. We literally lost, well, grand total of, what, 10 people. Really not very good for them. And we are going to be taking them should we take them prisoner? I guess we should. Let's take a look, actually. There was someone in the comments that wanted to see who our enemies are. And, yeah, generally, good idea. Good idea. I think that might be quite fun to check that out. I don't really... Do I really care about taking these? I'll take the Nords, I guess. They don't really have anything else. All right, just gonna leave the rest here. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, we'll take a look at our enemies in just a moment. All right, so here we are. So we basically have negative relations with plus 59 people, and indeed all the people on here as well. So I'm not entirely sure if we're even going to have the opportunity to marry anyone in this playthrough, which is going to be quite funny considering we are age 42. We are literally 42. Remember, we started at age 20. It's been 22 years, technically, because we're obviously playing on fast mode. Generally, I would recommend this. If you're playing on fast mode, try not to execute anyone until you've actually gotten yourself a spouse. I know it's difficult, especially for people with very little self-control, i.e. me, of course, because I felt like it was necessary. I felt like I needed to do it because they were proving themselves to be very, very annoying. So, yeah, anyway, we'll see what we can do. I did actually get a governor. I got a governor for our town here. It was just some random companion that we had in here, and luckily he actually had some decent-ish engineering and steward skills, so he's okay. Hopefully it's going to work out quite nicely that he's going to be, you know, helping us build things just that little bit quicker, because I was noticing that our development of the town was quite slow, and I'm not a terribly big fan of that. So, yeah. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to set sail, and we're going to make our way on to, I think, Revel. I think Revel would be really, really nice to take if we could actually do that. Question is, can I go here? No. Okay, so landing on this side is not going to happen. No, I can... No. There's no landing on that side whatsoever by the looks of things, so we can't possibly get up there. We could go around and go here, I guess. We might be able to... Can we actually land there? I actually don't know. I don't really want to randomly just waste time going in this direction. Yeah, I don't know. We should probably try to take Revel if we can, because obviously we're only at war against the Sturgians right now, so I feel like it makes sense for us to try to do that. We are I don't know. We are kind of spreading ourselves out quite dramatically, which I don't really like. I mean, you know me. I generally like to consolidate and be very logical, be, you know, very machine-like in the way that we progress through the territory. We don't really want to be going, oh yes, I will take this fief in the north, and then I will take this fief in the far distant south. And that's that's just not going to work. That's not a particularly good idea. Ah, we can actually go here. Oh, okay. Oh, this is interesting. All right. Okay, fine. Should we try to take Ustakal Castle? We could try to take this. I mean, there's 500 here, which is extremely significant comparison. Let's have a look at this over here. 860. That is craziness. What is going on here with this? I have no idea. Okay, I'm going to try it. Okay, we're going to try it, and we're going to see what happens. I highly doubt this is going to work. Yeah, let me do the... 10 days! Ooh, alright, 10 days. That's not too bad. The Khuzait have decided to declare war against us. Well, that's not going to do anything. I'm sorry to tell them, but that is not going to do anything at all. That is probably the most useless war declaration I have ever seen. Well, actually, no. There probably have been worse ones. And look at Iltus, he's coming over! Very nice, he's actually helping us out. That's great. Look at that. Okay, and we've got Thule here as well as Garatops. They're all helping us out. That's really, really nice. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to get the opportunity to take this so swiftly that the Sturgians won't even be able to react. That would be amazing. Obviously, we have a huge amount of food right now. 73 days worth of food, so we don't really need to worry about that. My trebuchet is being destroyed because I was talking about my food situation. But yeah, there you go. All right, that's fantastic. Alright, okay, this is kind of bad, actually. Yeah, this is kind of bad. Alright, so we have a very significant Sturgian force of vassals here. They're actually attempting to interfere with our attempt to take Revel. And the funny thing is, I'm actually not entirely sure if this is one of the improvements that the AI has been given in the latest, shall we say, well, with the addition of war sales, because obviously there was a patch that improved the AI's capabilities, and I think that actually it may very well be the case that they have been improved in their awareness, the awareness of what the situation is currently looking like. For example, Revel. It was out of food. It literally just got out of food, and I was basically starting to deal starvation damage to the garrison here, and it was almost basically a no-brainer for us to go in and just completely sweep. And these guys knew it. These guys knew that that is exactly what was happening, and they interfered at the exact moment where I was going to be like, oh yeah, let's go in now. You know, and I think that they did a really, really good job on that. So this is going to be very, very harsh. Not sure how we're going to do this. Oh yeah, I'm going into a field battle without my spear because I actually equipped my thrown weapons because I thought, oh, we're going to go into a siege. Let me equip my thrown weapons. Yeah, that probably wasn't the best idea. Yeah, probably wasn't the best idea. Anyway, we'll see what we can do here. We've got 110. The enemy has how many? Oh, actually not even that much. The enemy has 238. We have 162 total on the field, and we are running into the sun. Well, that's not particularly good, is it? No. Yeah, the sun destroys all evidence, indeed. If you run into the sun, obviously. I'm talking about literally here, you know, running into the great ball of fire in the sky. Yes, that kind of thing. Or if you have a, you know, spaceship, starship, you know, then that's obviously a lot easier. Anyway, we could, no, mate, see, now this is the problem. This is the issue. Gonna have a bit of a problem with using my two-handed here in comparison to using my spear. The spear, obviously, we can just dominate with that. But when it comes to my two-handed, the enemy has an advantage just because they have so much extra reach. And that is going to make a big, big difference to our overall viability here. We may not even be able to get that many kills as a result of that, especially considering the fact that I am now going to be taking some big, big damage. Thank you very much for that wonderful shot in the leg right there. Alright, so these guys, they're charging down there. Not entirely sure why they're doing that, to be honest. I didn't really want them to do that. Garatops. Ooh, Garatops is getting some kills. That's nice. Okay, I like to see that. Okay, wow. He's actually doing a lot better than anticipated. I'm actually doing a lot worse than anticipated, so Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? Yeah, it sounds about right. Generally, anytime I literally go and I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, I'm probably going to do okay here, then we do a lot worse. And then with the times when I'm like, oh yes, I'm definitely going to suck here, usually I do a lot better. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. But yeah, it's a classic. It's a wonderful classic. But let's not dwell on the fact that classics are upon us. And indeed, we will just try to murder everything we can. It's like, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with my infantry right now. They're not even in a shield wall formation, but they're taking an age to get over here. Kind of strange. Alright. Kill that guy. Maybe this one as well. No, we did a little bit of damage. Nice. Okay, okay. It's good enough. Maybe we could do some damage here. Nice. We actually hit around his shield. That was insanely good angling right there. Obviously, that was not on purpose. That was just random luck. And generally, I'm always going to be the first. I'm always going to be the first to tell you. I'm always going to be the first to tell you, yeah, that was luck. That was not skill. You know, it's a very transparent situation. Yes, I'm never going to toot my own horn, as it were. Well, sometimes. You know, if I feel like I've actually done a decent job, I'll definitely toot it a little bit. But most of the time, no. Most of the time, that's not going to work. Anyway, we're just going to move my forces a little bit closer here. Move my archers somewhat as well. I do want to try to eliminate a lot of these random vassals here that are obviously making things kind of annoying for us. Can we kill this guy, really? You see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The two-handed axe. It's just got too little reach. I mean, funnily enough, I am actually doing pretty well with it. Surprisingly, I mean, we would have gotten so many more kills if we had used our spear here, but you know, that's just how it is. 3 skill points in throwing. Nice. That's pretty good. Can we get some more? Nice headshots. Wow. Okay, we're getting loads of kills with this thing, whatever this is. Oh yeah, I almost killed one of my own guys. That's great. Yeah, that's an absolute perfect situation. Nice headshot right there. Very good. Nice. Basically, anytime we can get any damage. Oh, that was a hit and a half, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, I love that. Anytime we can do a hit like that, I am exceedingly pleased. That is so satisfying as well. Extremely satisfying just to have that kind of... I don't know. I feel like the hit marker sound effect that comes out, it's just very satisfying when you hit with the thrown weapons. That's why I actually really like thrown weapons most of the time. There are times when I just completely suck with them and then I can't hit anything. You know, can't hit the broadside of a barn or anything like that. And it's just, you know, that kind of thing is what I'm talking about. But generally, they are very enjoyable to use. And indeed, ooh, okay, they've gotten another batch of reinforcements. Not particularly pleased about that. I'm actually surprised I'm not taking that much damage. Thule is at it again. Thule is at it again. He's got couch lancing, and he's got that perk. I'm pretty sure he's got that perk in polearms that makes him have a chance to remain couching after the fact. I think that's what he's actually got going on there. That's why he's inflicting so much damage in one attack. Because if he has a polearm that allows him to couch, which obviously he does. And look at the amount of damage that we just took right there. Do you see that damage right there? That was insane. That was because of a javelin. Like I said before, javelins are incredible upfront burst damage weapons that can do so much damage that you can basically just delete an enemy, and or you can be deleted as well almost instantly from the battle just by getting hit once. And you've seen exactly what happened just there. Massive damage. And indeed, I think we might even be able to get these guys to run away because we are inflicting so much damage to the opponent. And indeed, look at the amount of cavalry that they have left. I think that they have quite a few left, but the amount of cavalry, I think, directly impacts how likely it is for them to retreat. And I think that just says everything you need to know, kind of, you know, about Bannerlord's combat. It is very much, in field battles at least, it is actually kind of reliant on how many cavalry certain people have. Because the cavalry themselves have such a large unit weight, and I'm talking about combat strength here, that when you have a significant amount of cavalry, or when the enemy has a significant amount of cavalry, they usually impact the battle so much more, just purely because they have much more of a, shall we say, bigger slice of the pie in terms of contributions. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about troop value and troop weight and so on and so forth. Obviously, this is getting a little bit too technical now, so I'm not gonna go on about it. But basically, that's kind of the reason why I like to target down the cavalry quite often, just purely because I know that I want their morale to be really, really low. I want their morale to be in the dumps. I want it to be as low as it possibly can be, because it's then going to do things like this, where we literally have a massive advantage, and it's very unlikely that they're going to be able to come back from this if we are, if we're okay and able to sort of push that advantage home, and we might be able to indeed achieve victory here. Obviously, I do have Terror as well as Thunderous Charge, which means that I am dealing 40% additional morale effect to the opponent as well. And there it is. You see that? Look at that. We were just pushing them. We were just pushing them over and over again. And look at how many kills we got. We only got 500 kills. I say only because if you think about it, 500 out of the amount of troops that they actually had is incredible. If you think about it, it's insane how much damage we were able to do to the opponent without actually dealing damage to them. And, just think about it. Think about that sentence for a real quick second, because that's the reason why I really, really love, whenever we have the opportunity, inflicting any kind of morale damage and winning through morale damage. I think that is some of the most fun that you can have in the game, just purely because you actually see your... I know, getting a bunch of kills is always fun and everything, but you actually see your impact just by, just by eliminating, strategic enemies in the actual battle. Like, for example, like I said, eliminating a lot of the cavalry really makes a huge difference. Going to take a couple of Sturgians here, even though I don't really want to, but I want to continue trying to recruit as many prisoners as I can, because we need to continue our campaign here. And it's going to be a little bit difficult maybe to return to home territory sometimes, so I kind of want to be a little bit prepared for this. So we're just going to kind of take some of them, and we're just going to continue having like a nice rolling conversion rate as much as we possibly can. If we don't, then we're probably going to end up having a much, less strong army than we would otherwise. I'm going to be going for resourceful here, I think. Yeah, resourceful. We could go for triple damage against shields with throwing axes, and this is, in my opinion, extremely cool for the plus 50% to shields with throwing troops by, well, with throwing weapons by troops in your formation. And this is incredibly good for our forces specifically. So I'm actually wondering, do we want to take it? I'm thinking maybe yes. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take it. Usually I would never take this because I'm not someone that is actually using throwing axes. But if you think about how much damage the throwing axes actually do already, and if you think about the fact that most vassals that we're fighting against, I'm not sure if they're going to have 200 in throwing weapons, and I'm not sure if they're going to be taking this particular perk. It would be nice if I could see their perks, but unfortunately I don't think that's possible. Not sure, not unless we can get them into our clan or something like that. But yeah, anyway, the point is, if they had that, and we've seen how much damage the throwing axes are capable of doing to us, or should we say to our shield, then this 50% extra damage is going to mean that we can, well, basically 3-4 axe hits from thrown axes, and the shield will be destroyed. And my shield is actually really good. So imagine a standard shield, an average looking shield by some random unit out there somewhere. It's just going to die in like, what, 2 hits? It's just going to be destroyed in 2 hits. Which is exactly what we want. That's the kind of result we want whenever they're using their thrown weapons. That's the reason why I'm being a little bit more selective about when they use their thrown weapons, and I'm telling them to hold fire a little bit more, because I think that really does make a big difference to our overall effectiveness Because otherwise, they're just going to be, you know, throwing their axes at nothing, and they're gonna miss, and it's just not going to be that effective. So yeah. Anyway, as you can see, the enemy is almost 100% starved out, which is exactly what we wanted, and this is exactly what I was attempting to do at the Nord town, but obviously they basically just wanted to continue attacking me over and over. I'm actually kind of surprised that there aren't more Sturgians that want to attack us, but I guess we kind of took them all prisoner, didn't we? We kind of took them all prisoner and defeated them and so on. So yeah. Anyway, we can, I think, make our way in here. Actually, you know what? First of all, just going to do a little bit of this. And there we have it. Okay, so we only have 350. This should be really, really simple for us. And what I'm going to do is, of course, I am going to try and level up our thrown weapons because I do have that available here. Am I still damaged? No, I actually did replenish myself. That's kind of nice. Now, let's just see. Where are the... okay, there's one gap over there, and there's another gap over there. Okay, so I guess we'll just try and see if we can maybe do some damage. Nice. Okay, what? That was a hit? Okay, I'm actually kind of surprised about that. Alright, let's do this. Okay, let's not, because he's apparently getting murdered. Okay, these guys want to say hi. Not entirely sure why, but there you go. This is interesting. Kind of a bit disappointed, actually, about that, because I was thinking to myself, yes, we're going to be able to level up our thrown weapons, and then I'm like, oh, actually, we're not. Yeah, pretty funny. All right, let's go square formation right here while my forces move in, because I don't really want them to get absolutely murdered by random archers and stuff like that. Let's actually see if I can throw this. There we go. Nice. Can we do another one? Can we get another one? No, I am missing him by a very slim margin. That's great. Okay, yeah, well, we can just tell our forces to go in here. I mean, this should be extremely easy for us, right? I mean, we should have no problems whatsoever with this. Let's tell our forces to charge in, and I believe we should be fine. Let's try and snipe this guy if we can. Oh, how did I miss that? I don't know. I think I did hit him now, but unfortunately it was a bit too far away. Nice. 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 There we go. And a little bit more. Nice. There we go. There's a good headshot. And there we have it. Okay, that's pretty much all I had available. Okay, we're going to have to go for this. Nice. Okay, here we go. Now we can just go to town, and we don't really have to worry too much about these guys, because these are just militia. And as we know, well, the funny thing is, I'm going to say this right now, I think Nord militia are actually really strong in comparison to a lot of the other militia that you're going to see in the game. I don't think Sturgian militia, for example, I don't think they're really going to have much in the way of resistance to what we're able to do here. And I think that Nords, if we were to face Nords right now, I think we would be actually having some... I mean, we probably wouldn't have issues, like big issues, but I think they would most likely provide us with a lot more resistance than the Sturgians are providing us right now. And you can see that right here. I mean, look at these guys. They're not really doing much, and they just got absolutely massacred in the meantime. And there are, well, I mean, I guess there's very few people here, and it's not just us besieging it. You know, it is actually our vassals as well. They are actually coming over and helping us. And I think that makes a big difference as well, obviously. So it isn't just a solo effort for once, which is really obviously making a big difference too. But I don't know. It feels to me like Nord militia are quite a bit more effective. Maybe that's because they're better at melee. They might just be better at melee. I don't know. I'm actually being shot from the side here for some reason. Oh, hello. Okay. Do I have any more thrown weapons? I don't have any more thrown weapons. That's kind of sad. Oh well. I mean, they are really fun to use, aren't they? So, you know. Okay, then this is also one of those things, as I've said to you multiple times already, I do think that a massive two-handed axe should not be blockable by a small one-handed weapon of any kind. Like, for example, these guys right here, them attempting to parry a massive two-handed axe with a one-handed, I think that's absolutely, I feel like that's completely just, what? How are they going to do that? You know, it's very, very unlikely that they'd be able to do that in a realistic situation. But obviously, the game is not supposed to be a 100% realistic simulation of what we would actually face in a real-world example here. But, you know, still, the fact is, I do think we should be able to crush through a lot of the one-handed parries that we've been seeing. But maybe, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we should have a little bit of gamification, to be honest, because if we have the gamification with that and, you know, a number of other features, then I don't think we should really be, you know, super sticklers for the realism aspect, because there are a lot of reasons why realism is bad. And obviously, you know, there are any number of video essays everywhere basically talking about this over the years, where realism in video games is sometimes, I'm not talking about all the time, but sometimes a detriment. It's sometimes going to be a detriment to the overall satisfaction and the overall enjoyment of the player base. And I'm not looking at any particular games here specifically. I'm not pointing any fingers at anyone in particular. I'm not talking about Bannerlord or anything like that. I'm just talking about in general. Sometimes realism features really do make everything so much more unsatisfying and much more frustrating to play, which is unfortunate, because obviously that's not that isn't the end goal, is it? You know, most, you know, developers, whether they are a modding team or a fully fledged AAA or, you know, an indie, anything like that, most people are trying to create a fun experience, right? Isn't that the point? Most people are trying to create a fun experience so that everyone can have a grand old time playing whatever they want to play. But, you know, I do think that, yeah, some realism aspects are just better left by the wayside, because otherwise they're going to be, well, kind of annoying. And there are you know, a couple of things that I can think of right off the top of my head right now, where I would be like, yeah, that realism aspect, I think I can probably say, you know, goodbye to that. I don't really want to deal with that realism aspect, because it's not really that fun to deal with. As I said before, most realism aspects, you know, like stamina, for example. Stamina is a thing that isn't really that fun to play with, in my opinion, but it depends, because obviously if you think about a game like Dark Souls has, you guessed it, stamina. So, you know, that's kind of fun to play with in that game. But there are certain games and certain mechanics that you don't really want to see in them, you know. It just, as I say, it very much depends on what kind of game you're playing, because it's I think it's a case-by-case basis, to be honest. Let's go for another focus point in bosun skill here. I don't think there's anything else that I really want to go for. I could go for riding skill, but I'm not sure if this really makes... Yeah, no, it's not really going to do that much for me, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, Dauntless Steed is really, really good if you have any mounted troops at all, but we only have, like, what, 5? 10? I don't know, we don't have that much, so me getting +5 armor to all equipped armor pieces and mounted troops in your formation, probably not going to be that useful, especially considering I'm not even the captain of the cavalry. I'm the captain of the infantry, and we already have all of the infantry focused perks, so we don't really need to worry about that at all. Anyway, we've now taken Revel, which is fantastic. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to award it to someone. The question is, do I want to award it to myself? I don't know. An early thaw and a warm spring has ensured a bumper crop, which the prayers of the villagers and the efforts of the local cats have protected from rats and birds. Such bounties occur rarely. What will you do? All right, okay, yeah. This is absolutely fine. We are basically just going to be doing this. Done. There we go. Getting some nice little relation with everyone around here. And this is actually a really nice stronghold. Look at what we've got here. Now, obviously, Ustakol Castle, it would be fantastic if we could take that as well. And I think we're probably going to go over there and try to take it immediately. We'll see whether we can actually make it work. If we can make it work, this is going to be great. Let's see, the owner of Revel, are they wanting to give it to me? Some people are wanting to give it to me, some people don't. I am... You know what? Should I take it? Yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it right now. I'm going to take it. The reason why I'm doing this is purely for the fact that I feel like... I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be able to take care of it slightly better than other people just because they are sometimes really, really bad at what they do. And I'm literally just going to do this. I'm just going to try to probably sell some food here because we have a food situation. Obviously, we starved them out, which is really, really bad. Really bad for the recovery phase, shall we say. And what we're going to do is just go back into... Oh, look at that. I'm actually getting some trade skill. That's quite funny. Okay, yeah. So we're just going to go back in here, and I'm going to do a little bit of slaughtering. Because we're going to get some meat from that, and that's obviously going to be really, really nice. There we go. No one to recruit. We don't really need to recruit anyone. We basically didn't lose anyone from all of that, so that's pretty good. Let's get rid of some of this fish. Actually, not too much. Let's have a look. 37 days worth of food. Is that enough? Is that enough for us? I actually don't know. Okay, that might be a little bit problematic. I don't know whether we're going to have a good time here. Let's just sell some of this other stuff because we don't actually even need any of this. Okay, 47,000, pretty decent. Whoa, 17 skill points in trade, really? Okay, kind of surprised. Let's go for minus 15% price penalty while selling equipment. Usually we're going to be selling equipment most of the time, so that's probably pretty nice. And how are we doing otherwise? Well, we have just sold a bunch of food here. So it should be fine. Hopefully they'll be okay. I might have to transfer my governor from Havalvik back over here. That's probably going to be the way to go because he does have a little bit of extra engineering skill and so on and so forth. So it might make sense. Alright, so we have a bit of an issue here. We have another army that is coming over. Unfortunately, we don't have our allies in this area any further. I don't know where they've gone, but we have this guy who's going to get absolutely crushed by our wonderful auto-delegate here, auto-resolve, whatever you want to call it. And, oh, he's actually giving us a bunch of actually pretty high-tier troops right there. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Thanks very much. And let's try to just, convert a couple of more of them. We have some looters, for example. Why do we have looters in our party? Let's get rid of those. Thank you very much. And we'll just take the rest. Thank you. All right. So now here's the thing. We're going to have these fellows most likely coming and trying to attack us. Now the question is, are they going to go into a field battle? I'm going to assume yes, right? I am going to assume yes. So we're going to put our spear on again. I don't think there's anything else here that I can really use. I was kind of thinking that maybe there would be a better spear, but this spear is so good, I can't really say no to using it, can I? So we'll continue the siege, see if they decide to go in here and actually cause the garrison to sally out. We've already destroyed the walls. As you can see, no, they're just going straight on in. Okay, the question is, are they bringing the garrison? They are. Okay. That's very interesting. Okay, so that means... I probably should have just gone in, to be honest, all things considered. I probably should have just gone in because they only have crewmen. They only have some crewmen. They have some recruits. They have STURGIAN warriors. They don't have anything particularly strong. So theoretically, we would have been absolutely fine even if we had just gone in as long as we had destroyed the walls. But... obviously, bear in mind, this is just me, all right? This is just our own army. This is not with our allies. So this might be a bit problematic. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is actually one of the older maps that, yeah, we've had quite a few times in the past, and this is going to be very interesting. This is the first time I've actually seen this map in this series so far, I think. And this is going to be kind of harsh for me personally because obviously I'm trying to get as many kills with our spear as we can, but unfortunately because this place is very well, shall we say, it's very hilly, it's a little bit mountainous. It's kind of difficult to actually make any kind of charge attack really work super badly or super amazingly, whatever you want to call it. And well, maybe we can actually do something here. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I would have liked to have gotten 2 kills there, but no such luck. Nice. Nice. And can we get some more? Ooh. Wow. Okay, I'm actually surprised. Whoa. These guys are literally just running into me randomly right now. It's very interesting. Okay. As I said, once again, we are just going to be attempting to eliminate as many of the enemy's cavalry as possible. Because if we can eliminate the cavalry, this is going to be easy mode. Right? This is going to be easy mode. It's all to do with eliminating the cavalry. If we can do that, we'll be good. If we are not, then we will not. Let's move our forces slightly closer here. Nice, nice, nice. Eliminate the vassal. Try to kill this one. Try to kill that one. Round the shield. Nope, nope, never mind. That guy lowered his shield. That was nice. And I'm just going to leave my forces in a position like this. And hopefully that's going to help us. Because I'm hopeful that they're just going to continue throwing their axes. They are throwing their axes, which is good. The problem is, are they actually just taking damage? That's the point. Are they just taking damage? Shall we go into a shield wall? Let's go into a shield wall. Let's try and move them a little bit closer here. Let's tell our cavalry to charge in as well. And we do have a banner carrier over here. Would be nice to eliminate that if at all possible. Not really going to have too much luck with that. Oh no, there we go. We actually did kill him. That's nice. And maybe, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. Kill all of the enemy vassals. Anytime you see a vassal, please kill him. That is the way to go, because they are going to be the ones that will be inflicting most of the morale damage when they die. So that's what we need. Okay, yeah, we're going to have some issues here now. We just need to continue doing damage. I should probably switch to my two-handed at this point. Yep, I'm going to switch to my two-handed. Let's see if I can maybe do some Terra damage. Terra is very, very effective at this, so hopefully we can do something here. My forces, how are we doing? Not bad, I guess. Not very pleased. Yeah. Kind of hoping for a little bit more effectiveness here, but... Ooh, not sure. Not sure. I mean, these are STURGIANs, right? They're not Nords, so I guess we're not really... Well, I mean, they're kind of dangerous, I suppose, right? But I don't think we need to worry too much about them, do we? We're doing some good damage. Just don't take too much damage in the retaliation here. And then we should be okay. Got to be careful of the charge in. Okay, we're going to reconsolidate. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be receiving some reinforcements very, very soon. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get out of here a little bit. Yeah, this guy's going to be annoying to deal with, so I should probably get out my spear again. Okay, let's just go around about here. Are we receiving reinforcements yet? No, still not receiving reinforcements. Kind of interesting. Okay, kind of thought we would. Let's try and just eliminate a handful of these guys if we can, if we don't get shot to death in the meantime. Nice. Okay, there we go. Nice. And another one. Thank you. All right. That's what we like. And now if I can just... yeah, we've got over 200 enemies over the hill here. This is kind of harsh. I don't really want to tell my 62 to go in there. I have a feeling we're going to be receiving reinforcements sometime soon as well. And I kind of don't want to send my people in just randomly and then have reinforcements arrive and then we're out of position. So that's the question here. What do we do? I guess just wait. I guess that's the best thing that we can do. We're getting some good damage out here. Unfortunately, as I said, as soon as I go over the hill, we're going to be taking significant damage from pretty much every single archer. Okay, yeah, we're going to have to do this, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll just move forward. This is going to be very, very damaging, though. Can we kill this guy? Can we kill him? Yep, there we go. Okay, nice. Not too bad. Good, 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 good. And now, here we go. Okay, wait. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is the reason. This is the reason. Look at the damage. Wow, yeah, pretty significant amounts. I'm going to tell my forces just to charge straight on in here. I think I'm going to tell them to go into a line as well, because otherwise they're going to move way too slowly. The archers are just going to tear them apart. The amount of damage that was done to my shield right there should pretty much illustrate the point. We should probably be a bit more... Yeah, did not want that. Did not want that. Oh, well. Never mind. It is going to take a little bit of time, but we should be... Yeah, there we go. As you can see, we just received reinforcements. We should be absolutely fine here. We've literally eliminated 200 of the enemy's forces, and all these guys are extremely low level, so we should really have no problems at all. actually winning this. Oh, well, apparently my forces just completely lost all of their people, but we are now coming back in with our thrown weapons, and you can see all of our other reinforcements are coming in. We are just going to absolutely destroy these guys. As you can see, we've got 300. Yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. It's just going to be a case of, well, it's going to take a bit of time, I guess. And there it is, 147 renown, 149 influence, and indeed we are now going to be able to take... I'm going to take all of them prisoner, obviously. I'm going to take all of them prisoner. I'm probably going to decline any kind of peace agreement as well, because I think that we generally are doing so much work right here. I don't really want to have a situation where we just go, yeah, you know what? I've captured all of your vassals, and now I'm going to let you all go. That doesn't sound like a particularly logical idea, does it? No, it sounds pretty terrible. So we are just going to say no to this. We are going to have to spend 430 influence on it, which is extremely annoying. But I don't know why we would make peace with them. Why would we make peace with them? I mean, let's have a look. Are we at war against anyone else? No. As you can clearly see, we are not at war against anyone else. So it makes no sense whatsoever that we would want to do that. Okay, the owner of Ustakol Castle, I am probably going to give that to someone else. We'll probably give it to Thule, I guess. I mean, why not? I don't really want it myself. I don't really like taking, you know, ownership over castles or anything like that for no other reason other than I just find it more interesting to manage towns, just because they're more fun, in my opinion, to manage. But otherwise, we're just going to make our way back to Ustakol, not to Ustakol, to Revel here. And, oh, look at that. Nialdar's getting some nice scouting skill as well. He must have just gotten a focus point. He must have just leveled up or something like that. Now he's getting a focus point in that, which is really nice. Okay, so otherwise, let's... Yep, there we go. We're just going to recruit some people from here. We've got 1 loyalty coming in right now. And so what we're going to do... Let's have a look. Well, we should probably get a courthouse. It's going to take 24 days. That's actually pretty good. Surprisingly so. Without a governor, 24 days... That's really nice. If you had a governor, you could probably reduce that to, well, 12 to 15 maybe, if you get a governor that has decent engineering skill or something like that. So not too bad, if I do say so myself. Otherwise, we have a pretty good garrison here too, thanks to our allies. Oh, the Britannians. I didn't even realize that at the time. The Britannians have now declared war against us. Okay, that's going to be kind of interesting. I feel like I really need to go back to our home because I really need to recruit some more people. Need to draw out some troops from the garrison over there. It's a little bit annoying, actually, that we have to go all the way over there to do that, but... It is potentially going to give us the opportunity maybe to get into a naval battle. I mean, people are not really going over there anymore. But it's funny because generally, if they were to go over there, the walls, I think, are still down. They're still like half down or something like that, which is kind of weird. I actually don't know why we're not repairing those places, but I'm going to assume that maybe we just need to construct the appropriate building and then we'll be okay. All right, you know what? We're going to make peace with the STURGIANs. I don't really want to do this just purely because I think this is a huge tactical mistake. I really think so, because we have so many of their vassals taken prisoner. You can see, look at their combat strength right now. Their combat strength is basically almost the same as ours. They have 5,800. As soon as we give all of their vassals back, their combat strength will increase by at least 1,000, maybe 1,500 even. And I think that that's going to dramatically increase the chances that they will just declare war on us once again after the truce has, you know, expired. And they'll do exactly the same thing over and over again. But we are at war against the Britannians, and I want my vassals to be able to concentrate on one single opponent. So that's exactly the reason why we're going to make peace with them, which I don't really want to do. Like I said, I think this is a big mistake, to be honest. But I don't really, as I say, don't really have enough vassals to really spread them that thin. We kind of need to choose, pick our battles relatively carefully, a little bit smartly here and there. And yeah, I know, it's a bit of a rarity to use our smarts. Oh yes, indeed. But otherwise, yeah, we're just going to sell a couple of things here. I would like to get some. Yeah, I'm just going to buy a little bit more food here, and then we're going to move on. 48,000, not too bad. And, yeah, oh, wait a minute. What do we have here? As you come into town, the merchant Nadir the Wool Weaver makes you an offer. Local merchants are on edge awaiting an incoming caravan from Ostrakan. If you claim that you found its wreckage, looted by bandits, the prices of goods would rise considerably. He offers to pay you 1,000 dinars in addition to whatever extra you can make by selling your own wares once the prices rise. Okay, so what do we get here? Raise demand of trade goods by 10% in Havalvik. What? And we also get plus 50 experience in trade. All right, what do we have here? This, okay, we earn 1,000. Okay. Increase relationship with notables, but decrease relationship with this guy. Okay. The question is, do we want to have relation with him, or do we care about that? I don't know. I feel like we should raise... We should definitely raise demand of trade goods by 10%. I think that's really, really good, no? Isn't that really, really good? Doesn't that make us more cash in terms of market value and things like that? You know, all the convoys coming in. I guess we'll just do that, right? I guess we'll just do this. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I don't know whether that's a good idea, but look at this. This is exactly the reason why, by the way, I have stressed every single time loyalty is extremely powerful when it comes to town management. Because look at what I can do now. I can literally just recruit all of these guys because these guys all have 98 or 44, 15 relation with me. I can literally just get all of them extremely quickly, and then I can recruit them again and again and again. And we could just basically fill out our army extremely, extremely fast. I do need to actually deal with these deserters. I need to deal with these deserters actually kind of badly because we've had these guys actually preying upon our forces quite dramatically over the course of the last, you know, couple of episodes and stuff like that. So it's kind of a good idea, to get them out the way there. And I'm sorry that I didn't actually deal with them beforehand, to be honest. But there you go. Anyway, we're gonna make our way over to the noble villages. Actually, quite funny that this village over here. I actually thought that they didn't like us that much and that they weren't actually going to be, you know, allowing us to recruit anyone from there. But I've actually gone there multiple times now, and it has helped us a great deal. I mean, look at this. I'm getting Hearthguards. I'm getting actual Hearthguards, if you could believe it. Hearthguards are tier 4. Tier 4, tier 5, something like that. Tier 4, I think. And I'm literally just getting those straight up from the village itself. Absolutely incredible. Really, really nice. We're also getting 6,300 per day. All right, so I'm not entirely sure what is this guy doing? What is he doing? Look at him. He's got 55 people, and he is attempting to attack us when we have 345. That is very, very weird. All right, I guess I will just take him prisoner very, very confusingly. And otherwise, we have a bit of an issue on our hands right now. And basically the problem is this army over here might be... yes, indeed. Okay, wait a minute. Are they actually going to do this? Yeah, they do seem to be doing it. Okay, well, what we're going to do is I'm going to make my way back down over here. Let's actually see what they decide to do. Because I could technically, maybe, get them into a naval battle, which I would absolutely love. So, why can't I select my ship? There we go. Okay, now we can. Alright, so let's actually just see. Are they coming over here? It's looking like unlikely, right? It's looking a little bit unlikely. I highly doubt they're going to be able to... yeah, they're not really going to be able to do too much here. I mean, technically, what's going to happen is my vassals are going to be calling for peace against the Britannians. Funnily enough, I'm not too sure why they would do that, because they're actually winning against them right now, and I'm talking about my vassals. I'm not doing much at all, but my vassals have apparently captured one town. Not town. Of course not a town. A castle. They've captured one additional castle than what we had previously, which is pretty nice. As you can see, Asta Castle just came under siege once again. Also, the Nords have decided to declare war on us once more as well, which is obviously a problem. Now, I'm not sure about you, but for me personally, I think I really want to take this. There's only 10 days worth of food here, right? Only 10 days worth of food, which is extremely little. And generally, it should be really, really easy for us to do this. But as we've seen, it is not a case of just waiting the 10 days. There's actually a significant amount longer for us to wait while the garrison actually starves out. So it is going to be a little bit dicey, actually, waiting for these guys to be knocked unconscious. So I don't know whether we're even going to be able to do it, which is somewhat sad. I would have loved to have done some naval battle against the larger army. That would have been a lot of fun. Okay, yeah, so there's this guy being very annoying, deciding to enter the garrison here. I'm actually surprised that they're not sallying out. I don't know why they wouldn't sally out. I mean, there's 2 vassals here. Are they going to sally out now? Are they going to sally out now? If they sally out now, then they have a very, very good chance of actually achieving victory against us, to be honest. Because I've taken a look at the garrison here, and the garrison literally has, well, nothing really too dramatic, but they do have huge numbers. I mean, look at the numbers. It's kind of incredible. They do have some Oathsworn here, but they've got 12 Battanian Fians, which is not that amazing. Don't know why these guys go in here like this. Very strange. Is it because they're mercenaries or something? I assume that to be the case. That's probably the reason. But oh yeah, there we go. All right, there it is. I didn't see them. Oh no, that's bad. Oh no. Oh goodness me. Okay, that's actually very. That would have been very bad, as you can see right there. Oh wait, that's my guy. Oh, that's my army right there. Oh, that's my allied army. Oh, okay. Alright, so yeah, the Battanians were actually... Oh no, they took back that. Okay, so I see what's happening right now. So basically what is happening is the Battanians are attempting to stop my army, or stop my allied army from doing something. The Vlandians have now declared war against us. Really? Huh. Alright. Okay, let me actually just see here. We can pay 1,500 for 100 days. Yeah, I guess we'll do it. I don't really want to do this, obviously. I mean, it's kind of annoying, but as you can see, they did actually have a number of us taken prisoner. So the best strategy to use here is to make peace just to get our vassals back, and then we can start to fight back against the other factions. Unfortunately, it looks as though we will have to refocus our efforts and fight against the Vlandians once again, because they are now back in the game. And they are, for some reason, actually doing that, because they literally have, like, what, 5 vassals or something? Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.